Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel today. My name is Matt and this is Firewood in the Field. I am so excited to get to make some content. I am so excited to get to be outside in the weather. I'm finally able to get out and do some work in the wood yard. Not only is the ground, albeit soft, firm enough to work, I'm finally well enough. So some of you who follow the channel saw my posts. I had influenza type A about 2 weeks ago and it really knocked me on my back. I was down and out for a solid week, and then the whole second week, although I've been able to function and work office work like from home, I've just been too weak. I've been congested. I haven't been able to get out here to the wood yard. Apologies in advance. You may hear me clear my throat some, and I may cough some. I am still dealing with a little bit of that congestion, but I'm well enough to get out here and enjoy this beautiful East Central Missouri 70-degree day, the last day of February. Another reason I'm really excited, you may see right behind me. So earlier this week, I went to Widman Motorcycles, Norman's Firewood in South St. Louis, Missouri, and I joined the Wolf Ridge family. That's right. I've got a 28 Pro X, and I believe I'm the first channel to get a video with this machine out there. So I don't know how much wood I'll get split today. It's after work. I am still a little bit battling the illness. My wood yard's not set up real well. I just got some rounds scattered around, but I couldn't wait any longer. I want to get some wood through this machine. I want to show you guys what it'll do. I'm so excited and I'm so grateful. I never thought I'd be able to have a piece of equipment of this caliber in my wood yard, but it's been hard work. Uh, it's been a lot of, effort. I'm not saying it was given to me by any means, but this YouTube channel has helped make this a reality. And then I started with the box store splitter, made some firewood, sold some firewood. I bought the Ram Splitter H34, which I still have, and it's a good machine. It'll be for sale soon. That helped up my production quite a bit, and I've gotten to the point where this was affordable. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it does for my production. But this machine, I don't have the specs on me. You can look them up on Wolf Ridge, and I'll put a link in the channel description to both Norm's Firewood, Widman Cycles, and Wolf Ridge. But this is a souped up version of their 28 Pro, if you will. It's got the big bore kit. It's got the bigger push block. It's got the bigger cylinder. It's probably got other stuff that I don't know, and I'm not a hydraulics expert. So I'll defer. You can look up the specs. I don't remember what the advertised cycle time is either, but put it in perspective. This push block, it's a foot tall, like 10 inches wide. It's massive. I was already looking at a 28 Pro later this year. I had my finances to the point where that was going to work for me and make sense. And then a month or so ago, when they released the teaser videos for the 28 Pro X, I went ahead and jumped a little early, got a hold of Norm and said, I got to have one. It wasn't that much more money for the Pro X versus the 28 Pro as I would have had it equipped. I wanted electric start, log lift, auto cycle, the extension tray, all that stuff. So I think this machine is really going to do very well. I think it's going to be a real competitive offering in the marketplace. Let me pull the camera down, do a little walk around the machine, and then we'll get set up and we'll start splitting some wood with this fantastic piece of Wolf Ridge equipment. Okay, 28 Pro X. The only color is black. If you've looked up any of this, any of the videos on this one, it is a limited edition. I wouldn't be surprised if this became part of the standard fleet, though. This is an awesome machine. I got the 6-way wedge with it, and it's got a wedge holder. And this on the back of this Wolf Ridge machine, there are bolts you can get. For the bigger machines, you can actually install a little pole there and hold some lights. The filter, hydraulic filter, is built in right there. It's got a gauge that tells you level and temperature, auto cycle, log lift, wedge up and down. There's the log lift table exposed. Now this is a little different on this machine. It's kind of hard to tell just how high up this sticks, but it's also adjustable. You can move that to a couple different positions to maybe suit your operation. It's that giant push block. Comes with the 4-way wedge. As you see, and I have the 6-way wedge on the wedge holder. And then I opted for the extension tray as well. There's a Honda engine, electric start, but this is just your standard, your fuel on and off and your choke and throttle right here. And that's what I wanted. This is probably the only negative thing, in my opinion, on the 17 VS. It's got some kind of electronic throttle by wire, and I'm not a fan. I like my stuff simple. And then the rounds I've got, if you saw my video, I was doing some chainsaw work on Christmas Eve. I've got these oak rounds. I've been out here for a while. This is all red oak. That piece right there is 23 inches diameter. It was all the same log. They're a little bit larger as we go with these rounds. They're all already bucked up to 16 inch. I may have 1 or 2 shorty pieces. This machine, although it's heavy, it's balanced very well. I can go to that end of it and pick it up and walk this around if this was flat. I brought it out here with my little garden tractor, a little lawnmower. So I towed it out here with no problems. Let me get camera set up, get a tote set up, and get to going. All right, just gonna do a first fire up and go over the controls a couple times. Try to familiarize myself with the machine. My ram splitter does have a lift table and a hydraulic wedge, but I just want to get to know this machine a little bit before I throw some wood through it. Bring this in closer. You guys got to see the size of the cylinder. Yeah. Hard to get, kind of hard to see. Doing the fast retract. Alright, here we go. First splits. I've got a ton of maple and catapla, but I wanted to run some oak through this first. The oak's my favorite firewood to split and to burn. Oh, I have never, just disclaimer, I'm asking for a little bit of grace. I've never ran a 6-way wedge. This is going to be a learning curve. The first piece I'm going to run through is this 22-inch diameter piece of red oak. I'm going to send it through the 6-way, and I make my splits a little smaller. This is going to go on my roadside stand. So, here we go. right, the first round is complete. Like those big rounds, you get a lot of wood out of them. So learning curve for me, first time I've ever used a 6-way wedge. Now I'm going to swap to the 4-way wedge and put another round on. I've got a little more experience with a 4-way. I might be a little more efficient with it. So hopefully you guys are getting a good showcase of what the 28 Pro X can do. Despite my shortcomings, it really is an awesome piece of equipment. I'm looking forward to learning it more as I go. But for now, I'm going to swap to the 4-way wedge and get another round loaded up and see if I can get a better camera angle. Changing wedges is really quite easy. There's a little pin, and they give you 2. Take the pin out, lift the wedge off, put the new wedge on. I'm making it look harder than it is. There you go. You got an extra pin with you. Now you may have noticed early on when I first started this up, a lot of rattle noise. It went away when I turned the throttle up. What that was I had the wedge sitting on the wedge holder. While the engine's running, everything was vibrating and this was shaking. I might look into putting some kind of foam or rubber or a wedge in there to hold it tight. But to avoid that, I just set the extra wedge on the ground. But it's nice to have it with you when you bring your machine to the yard. It was a little bigger. More towards the butt end of the log. my 2 rounds down, close to half a tote. The wind has really picked up out here. So I'll get my earbuds in. Hopefully they're doing okay with canceling the wind noise. First thoughts, awesome. Machine is very awesome. Like I mentioned earlier, I just put the wedge on the ground. When you have the wedge sitting on the wedge holder and the machine's running, it vibrates quite a bit. Although it's not as bad when you're at full throttle. But when I had the machine at half throttle, this vibrated and made quite a bit of noise. I'm not doing this machine justice, I guarantee it, in this video. I'm sure this can put out a whole lot more production than I've been able to get out of it so far. It's got 1.1 hours on it, and I should have looked and seen exactly how many hours it had when I started, but I forgot. I'm going to keep splitting. I want to fill that tote. I've got several more oak rounds here. Those 4 are all at 16. I think a couple of those might be shorties. Should have more than enough to get this tote done and get in. But I'm just really happy to get to share this splitter with you guys. I'm really excited and a little bit humbled that I've got a piece of equipment of this nature in my wood yard. So stay tuned for more content. As I get more proficient and better with this machine, I'll show you more ways that it can be used faster. And then I want to line up a comparison between this machine and my ram splitter. It's not a apples to apples comparison. It's not a fair comparison to the ram splitter. It's a lot less of a machine, but it's still a good machine. So I want to kind of show a couple different angles on those two machines. Okay, everyone, it's going to be a wrap for the video today. I'm going to put the camera away so I can get to going and finish out this tote. Just wanted to get some quick footage of the 28 Pro X to show you it in action. I guarantee I'm not doing this machine justice. I've got to learn how to run it. Never ran a 6-way before. The controls of the machine, I'm just going slow. I don't want to get a finger caught in something or get hurt. So I'm just taking my time. You may have seen a couple times I reached for the wrong controls. My ram splitter, the controls were quite a bit out where I had to reach them. So I find myself reaching out and I grab the log lift and the wedge control instead of the ram when I meant to. But I really appreciate you being here watching the channel. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a bit humbled that I'm able to reach this level of an equipment in my wood yard, but I also know that I've earned it. So let my story maybe be a motivation to any other woodhounds out there in the same boat I'm in, right? Just getting started. I just had a regular box store splitter used, secondhand, 22-ton Speco. Worked my way up and got to where I could pay cash for a machine like this. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Just put in the work. As always, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate it even more if you consider to hit that like and subscribe button. From Matt at Firewood in the Field, see you next time.